Ooh, will I keep the same hair for every video? Probably not. Does this look weird? Yeah. Do I care? No. Hello. How do I start this off? First of all, these are things that I have been doing. I'm gonna continue to do in the new year. So it's not gonna be basic tips like, oh, eat better, exercise. Like, it's not gonna be stuff like that. These are like random practical things that I've been doing in the last year that have like drastically improved my quality of life. So let's just get right into it. It took me 19 years to figure this out, but I'm not indecisive. I just have way too much time on my hands. Picture this scenario. You and your friend are deciding on a place to eat. There's a pizza place and a taco place really close to where you guys are, like equal distance, and your friend asks you where you want to eat because they're not picky. But since you're a really cool person, you like both pizza and tacos, and you can't decide on where to eat. And cue the indecision, or so you thought. Your friend, being the absolute Chad that they are, takes out a coin, calls heads for pizza, and then flips it. But when they catch it, they don't show you what the coin says, they just ask you which side that you wanted it to land on more, and obviously you wanted it to land on tails because you like tacos better than pizza. And you guys both get in the car and drive off, leaving Little Caesars in the dust because no one wanted extra greasy pizza anyways. A lot of times people can be indecisive not because they don't know what they want, but because they've had too much time and they overthink it to insanity. Another common way to decide where to eat is the 5-2-1 rule. You select from 5 different places, and then you select 2 places out of those 5, and then you pick one out of the 2 places. Obviously, flipping a coin should really only be used in like minuscule scenarios to decrease decision fatigue, and not for something as big like, do I want to move to the US or do I want to move to the Netherlands? Because, I mean, that one's actually kind of obvious. You should move to the Netherlands. Get a quote book. This is something me and my sister have started doing just a couple of months ago, but it has just been so rewarding. Literally, I'll just be out in public with my friends, and one of them will say something ridiculous, like, I bet God looks down at me sometimes and wonders why he thought free will was the right move. And I will take out my phone and be like, that is going in the quote book. And they're like, you have a quote book? Yeah, oh my god, have I not shown it to you yet? No, you haven't. Please, enlighten me. Insert 5 minutes of just laughing through previous quotes. You really can't go wrong with it either. You can either use it to store really profound quotes like this one, or you could do what me and my sis do, and just keep a record of every dumb thing ever said, ever. The more out of context, the better. I like to make a fun memory game of looking through the quote book and trying to figure out, in what situation does this even make sense? Like, why did they say that? Just to reminisce, and it's so much fun. If you're like me and you have your license, hopefully you know what you're doing when you're out on the road. Arguably, driving is just an activity that you do where you're trying to get from point A to point B while also figuring out what everyone else is doing. A great way to let people know what you're doing is to use your indicator. No, that's not all that this tip is, although not enough of you guys are using it, and that is weird. My tip is not to signal for excessive amounts of time, because let's face it, you're not going to be always alone on the road. And when there's someone behind you and you're trying to get to Target, which is here, and there's a Buffalo Wild Wings here, and a Panda Express here, don't start signaling as soon as you turn the corner and get to the Panda Express. The person behind you will be confused when you pass up on the Friday night $10 buckets of chicken, and then shell-shocked when you pass up on the orange chicken, only to find out that you're going to Target to get your 6th tumbler of the month. You're not being easy to read, you're being the equivalent of that fancy Instagram font. I like to use the 7-second rule. If you're not going to carry out your action within 7 seconds, it's too early to start signaling. The budget can support so many location changes now, huh? If you don't like a trend, don't do it. I'm specifically talking about fashion here, but like Vaseline, I suppose this could be used in other areas. I know in high school you really want to fit in, but there is a certain sadness to trying on a trend realizing you don't like it or you don't look good in it, and keeping it on just for the sake of fitting in. I remember in middle school, all of the girls that I thought were cool had UGG boots, and I hated everything that UGG stood for. Those boots with the stocky silhouette, not in my house. I was not having it. That graph where functionality meets fashion, make a wild guess as to where I would put UGG boots. But even though I had a strong distaste for them, deep down, I wanted to own them just so I could be cool. Would I be considered cool if I wore them? Absolutely not. Coolness is earned, not bought. And the same goes for the Demon Spawn that is the shorter variant of the UGG boots that are circling around on Insta everywhere right now. The temptation is there. Do I want to become that girl sometimes? Yes. But at the end of the day, I go to bed glad that at least I still have my dignity.
Are you sure about that?
Listen, I'm not trying to say that following trends is inherently bad, because it's not. Trends are great because they expose people to things that they otherwise would have never found, like things that I loved that I didn't know I loved. Leg warmers. I love leg warmers. Even though that was definitely a trend back in like the 70s and 80s, I saw them circulating around now and I was like, you know what, maybe they're not that bad. And they're not that bad. But leg warmers aren't everyone's cup of tea either. So again, trends aren't bad because they expose people to things they like. Keywords, things they like. And I just hope that you're doing the same. When the short UGG boots are out of style and out of season, I hope you got them because you liked them. Because society goes through trends at the speed in which you slam the D-pad when you have a golden mushroom. I really hope they haven't stopped making cars with headphone jacks in them. Otherwise, by the time my kids have cars, this video will be entirely obsolete to them. How many times have you been in this situation? You and your friend are going to go, I don't know, rob the bank. You call shotgun, obviously, which means that you're on music duty for your heist. Except your friend doesn't have an aux cord, and since they're usually the only person that drives their car, they probably just use the Bluetooth that's already built into the car. Naturally, they haven't bought one yet. Well, that's fine. They just tell you to connect through Bluetooth instead. Except they have a Toyota Camry X71 Mini, and those have terrible Bluetooth connection. And if they disconnect their phone and connect yours, they won't be able to connect their phone back to their car for the next 6 to 8 business days. That's fine though. Luckily they use Spotify Premium, so you can just look up your own playlist on their phone. But you can't remember if your Sad Boys Hour playlist has 1 S or 5, so just buy an aux cord. Keep it in your bag, and when you sit shotgun and decide to commit crimes, you will only have to wait 5 seconds before you can blast your tunes. This is really for anyone who just wants to get into jewelry, but look at your veins. Oh, you can't really see mine. You're just gonna have to believe me, but my veins are green. Now look at your veins. Are they more of a bluish color, or are they green? Or are they like purple? With those colors correspond whether you're warm toned or cool toned. Warm toned people generally look better with gold jewelry, whereas cool toned people look better with silver. Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't wear the opposites. It's not like illegal, but if you want a good place to start, I would start with that. And on that note, where on earth do I put these guys? I have no idea. No, I mean literally. Hamilton. Take a walk. Clear your mind. Get some fresh air. Even if you just hop on the treadmill for 30 minutes when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, helps so much. And it just does. I have done literally zero research as to why this works, but I'm pretty sure some studies have shown. Also, walk faster. If you're in high school and you have a friend group of like 6 people and you all walk in this stupid cluster in the hallway, you better make sure you're a good friend, because walking at -1 miles per hour will guarantee that you will never get another friend with that snail type beat. Learn how to swim. Listen, I used to be just like you. I had a 9-foot-long pink cable, and the other day it just stopped working. I had to resort to my fast charger that came with the phone, and I was absolutely flabbergasted at all of the changes that happened to my life shortly after. I stopped using my phone while it was charging, which, by the way, it's actually really bad for your phone, and I know everyone hates hearing that because it's like, whatever. By the time my phone's battery stopped working, the iPhone 75 is going to be out, and I'm just going to get that one. Sis, that's a lot of money. And you wouldn't have to get the iPhone 76 if you would just stop plugging it in and using it at the same time. I lowered my screen time. Listen, my screen time used to be up at like 7 hours a day, and now I've gotten it down to around 3 just by moving where I charged my phone. I didn't do anything. And where I have it charging now is over by my desk, and that's not a place that I naturally reach for. Usually I'm on my phone in my bed, and my phone was charging right next to my bed. And so when I got on my bed, I just immediately reached for my phone because it was so close. Now I don't reach for it as much. And the worst one, but the most effective one, is when my alarm goes off in the morning, I have to go and get out of bed to turn off my alarm, which wakes me up. And I also just kind of like turn it off and sit on the edge of my bed and ponder my life choices and then decide to get ready for the day. It works! So yeah, if you want to be less chronically online without the work, get a shorter charger cord. Fitness girlie's not going to like me for this one, but take off your smartwatch or Fitbit in pictures. It does not look good with your floral dress, I promise you. I know, like Apple, they've designed their watches to be sleek and shiny and look neutral with just about everything, so it doesn't really look bad with anything, but it just doesn't look good or as good as a fashion watch when you're taking like nice photos. Like the only situation where I can see this working is if you and your bestie just went on this crazy hike and you're posing at the top of the mountain doing your little fitness girl pose. Like, I've been there. That makes sense because it fits in the context with your outfit. But otherwise, take it off. It takes like 2 seconds and it will just make your pictures look so much better. Please just take it off. I know this one is hard, but say the compliments you think of out loud. Just think about it. It never benefits everyone if they stay in your head. And 9 times out of 10, you'll be at home thinking, wow, I wish I had just told them, when you're sitting in your bed watching Wednesday for the 5th time. So just make everyone's day and say it. You won't. I used to be so guilty of this, but guys, deflecting your compliments doesn't make you look humble. It is actually more likely to annoy the person giving said compliments. A lot of people end up doing this not because they don't like compliments, but because they feel awkward or don't know how to accept them. And a simple thank you will do. But constantly saying things like, no, you don't mean that, or literally stop, bro, like stop playing, whatever. It kind of just discourages people from complimenting you in the first place because they don't want to make you uncomfortable. So yeah, to recap, say your compliments out loud and then accept them when people do the same. Let's go. Learn to play cards. Or at least learn the order of them. They're a fun way to pass the time, and if you could learn to play against Luigi on Super Mario 64 DS and gamble away your life savings, then you could learn that the order is Jack, Queen, King, and not anything else, okay? No excuses, guys. If you shop online a lot and are averaging out height-wise, save yourself the time and take down your measurements that don't change. Measurements such as height, inseam, wrist, ankle, shoulders, unless you work out a lot, sleeve, and shoes. Waist, hips, and bust kind of change with weight loss and weight gain, so those you will just have to measure every once in a while, especially if you've had any drastic changes in the last couple of months. But the other ones get kind of annoying if you shop online a ton and you're just like, oh crap, I don't remember what my inseam is. Now I gotta take it again. Just keep those written down so you can just have this little card and you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a size 67. And if you're really bad at taking your own measurements, just go to your town's seamstress or tailor, and most of them will happily give you your measurements and take them for you for like $15 to $20, and those you can keep forever. I have been told by several different people that I seem to know a lot of things, and to tell you the truth, I don't. Growing up, I was definitely book smart. I mean, math was my favorite subject. But I think the reason why people say that about me now is because I know a few things from a variety of topics. In my free time, I watch video essays and deep dives about very niche subjects. For example, there's a subcategory of speedrunners in the Mario Kart 8 speedrunning community where the goal is to get and obtain a blue shell and use it on yourself as fast as possible. The category is called the Blue Yourself speedrun. But I also know that group of Zebras is called the dazzle. I get if you're not interested in learning new things, this probably won't appeal to you at all, but for those of you who are, learn things outside of your usual realm of interest. Your brain will thank you. And also probably your friends. There is not enough art in this world. And before you say, I'm not good at art, I suck at art, remind yourself that it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be. Get your feelings out on a canvas or on a piece of paper. Write a song with lines that don't rhyme. Tell a story that has absolutely no purpose or morals or ending, whatever. Make it just for the sake of making it. And who knows, you just might surprise yourself. I have been collecting playing cards for a couple of years now. Whenever I travel, I buy them as souvenirs. For example, I got this in Key West, Florida, which is where Mile Zero is, and so now I have these shiny green and gold Mile Zero cards, and they're always an eye catcher whenever I bring them places. And then when people ask me where I got them from, I can tell them, oh, I got them when I traveled to here, and then I can tell them about my travels to there. I think humans can relate to both crows and dragons in the sense that we just want to have stuff. We just want to collect things that make the little endorphins in our brain go, oh, that's kind of nice. I'm not encouraging materialistic gain as the only means of happiness. I'm just saying, if you like Barbie dolls, collect Barbie dolls. If you like clothes, collect clothes. I just think everyone should collect something that makes them happy. I know people that collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Just collect things that make you happy, man. Literally everyone I know has mild scoliosis, myself included. And while mine is kind of caused by the fact that one of my legs is slightly longer than the other, this is like a problem. Why does everyone have a bad back right now? I've seen posts that say all hot girls have some sort of ache, like headache, backache, stomach ache. You could get rid of one of those if you just stopped sitting like this whenever you look on your phone. And I know phone usage isn't helping the problem. So if you spend a lot of time sitting like this, you could sit like I was sitting earlier in the video. In my last video, I showed my New Year's Eve party, and in half of the clips, we were playing Wii Sports, and it was so fun. And I think people should indulge in nostalgia more often. If it was fun when we were kids, wouldn't it be more fun now that we have the crushing weight of society on our shoulders? My favorite form of nostalgia dose is Nintendo, made obvious by my editing style. Have I been nostalgia baiting you guys this whole time? Is it working? Just do it. Baking is easier than cooking. You could go get a box cake from the store, decorate it all cute and funny, give it to your friend, or invite your friend over, share some cake. Random acts of kindness are so underrated and are almost never forgotten either. Your friend is gonna go home after you made them that cake and think, wow, my friend made me a cake. They are so nice. I should go out and spontaneously buy them a Lamborghini right now. Read an actual book, guys. As someone who's been exclusively reading online for the past 2 years, I can tell you that there is just something about holding a physical book in your hands and turning the pages. There's just something about it. I don't know. Call me Twilight Sparkle. I love books, and yeah, just go read a book. It's good for you. Read a book. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to borrow my sister's nail kit in the last year. In fact, this is hers. I just stole it from her room. Oh no. I swear I have good kinesthetic awareness, but I just be banging my nails into things all the time and chipping them, and I just did them so they're nice and pretty right now, but I'm betting in like the next 4 days I'm gonna chip one of them, and then I'll be out in public, and it bothers me so much. But if I had my own nail kit in my bag, it would solve this problem, and a lot of these tools are multi-purpose too. I purposely put this at the end of the video because I knew a lot of people were not ready to hear this, and if you stayed this long, that means that you are kind of interested in making your life better. So this is the tip for the people who want to make their lives better. And even then, I still don't think you guys are gonna like what I'm about to say, but you are probably following way too many people on social media. Our feeds have become oversaturated with people and creators and content that frankly a lot of us don't really care about. And you scroll by it on the daily. Your classmate from high school just got a dog. And what did you do? You didn't even swipe through the post. You didn't even like the post. You just scrolled right on by. You don't even know their last name. And you're following them because in this internet culture that's so obsessed with rank and status and high numbers, following someone back has become a common courtesy when that shouldn't have even been there in the first place. When you give a friend a gift, do you expect them to give you one back? No, because that's not how gift giving works. And I think we need to start treating social media the same way. It's insane how many times I've been looking at my friends' Instagram feeds and seen someone that they don't even talk to. I'm like, why are you following them? And they're like, well, I don't know, whatever. Those same friends complain that their social media feeds are so complicated and overwhelming and it's just so stressful and the social pressure, and babe, you did that to yourself. Here's how I keep my social medias working for me. I ask myself these 3 questions. Is this someone I care about? Is this inspiring? And does it make me laugh? For the people and accounts that I care about, that's usually my family, my friends. Those are the people in my DMs. This takes a lot of work to ask yourself, do you care about them? No, really. If they never spoke to you again, how long would it take for you to look up their account and see if they were, I don't know, dead? Even worse, if they unfollowed you right now, would you feel relieved? If the answer to that question is yes, do yourself a favor and turn that black button blue again. And just about every season, I go through my following and check and make sure that the people that I follow hit those criteria, because seasons change. I think your social media should probably reflect that. But yeah, that's how I keep my social media non-overwhelming. And I see you over there, Cheryl, with your 600 plus followers. You don't know 600 people. Get to cleaning. And that's it. That's the video. You made it all the way to the end. Yay! Oh my God, get off your phone.